Honestly, I don't think about it too much because I'm not going head to head, so it's not like I'm watching film on Jaden play ASU or anything. It's fun to watch, and obviously it's the back of your mind that you want to win the game, but again, it's not something that's off my mind too much. That's the season.
With everything that the world had to endure last year, and what you guys had to endure as a team, what did you learn about coaching? What did you learn from Coach Helton that is going to make you a better player, and what did you learn about yourself?
I think the main thing is there's a lot of adversity we faced as a team last year. I think every team in the country faced a lot of adversity last year. And again, it's just kind of something you have to deal with and overcome. And the adversity you saw last year was a lot different than we usually see it. It's usually in the form of a bad game or a tough opponent. But COVID's really a unique opponent in that aspect. So the regulations get in there. So I think really just overcoming everything with a great attitude and great effort is kind of how we were taught to overcome last year.
Definitely, I would say adversity is a big thing, and Coach Allen did a good job in helping us with that. And also to just appreciate the little things that COVID kind of took away from us in this aspect.
What were some of the little things that what were some of the little things that COVID took away that you may have taken for granted?
Just normal stuff like people being at practice, your fans there, your family there, just all the little things that you having to take COVID tests every morning that you kind of take for granted. Like just those type of little things that you got to appreciate that you don't have to do or you have to do.
We had to move our weight room outside for a time, so I think that's like something that the media probably didn't realize. Zoom meetings or position meetings, we're allowed to be in the locker room certain days. So that's like
Kedon, how would you rate this year's offensive line compared to the first two offensive lines you played with? I say that because the offensive line has been kind of under fire the last two seasons. And so what do you think of this year's offensive line?
I'm really excited. Coach Bryant done a great job of kind of getting those guys ready to play, especially young guys. So again, although personnel probably didn't change a whole lot, maybe we'll see. That's Coach Helton, but I'm just excited to see how it works. And obviously, the spring, probably we're in a really good place, not only running the ball, but forming the ball as well.
This is for both of you. Who or what has stood out the most about your defense in practices, spring, all of that?
You got the obvious one, my twin Drake Jackson. And then, you have people who are having to step up. But to me, who I go against every day is Chris Steele. And he keeps on elevating his game almost every day, and we go against each other. So I'm excited to see what he does and what he brings. And, like I said, the obvious one is Drake Jackson.
I think as a whole, too, the scheme for a quarterback, it's very unique. So that's probably the most complex defense I'll see all year. So it's really, it's good to see that practice and not from game.
Even if there's been change in the running back room, what are your impression of the couple of transfers in? What do they stand in the camp?
They've been great, and they not only have they been great on the field, but as teammates, they're everything you ask for. Part of workers, great guys have a locker, a lot of experience, and even in Keontae especially. Not spring, had a great spring, super explosive back. And you have a lot of guys returning too, or I guess 5 returning. We got Grant Campbell had experience in the spring, so I feel like we have a lot of depth we haven't really had in the past. And I'm really excited to kind of see how it's supposed to go this year.
What's the next evolution of your offense?
Honestly, I got this question a lot, and I don't think there's a true necessary evolution. The offense is going to kind of look the same as it always has. But I think we haven't seen its full form in terms of consistency. Obviously, we'd like to run the ball better, more consistently. We like to pass the ball for lots of yards and touchdowns more consistently. But when you talk about seeing it next form, just seeing that all the time. Not having 1 week where we do it, exceptionally, the 1 week where we drop off. The next form of the offense is just doing it day in, day out, every time we step on the field. And that's something Coach Earl's talking about, and it starts with me as a quarterback, getting our guys ready to play and playing. this month.
What is key to that consistency? Is it just your play, or is there more to that?
It starts with me, but again, it starts with everyone being more disciplined and playing consistently. Everyone's got to show up on game day. We can't just have, I can play as well as I can, but it's a team sport. And, if one aspect of the team doesn't show up that day, we're in trouble. So I think, again, it does start with me, obviously. But again, it's got to come from everyone at some point.
Drake, how has your game improved from spring ball to now?
I think every aspect of my game has improved. This is my first time ever in my life that I have gotten to focus on one sport and one sport solely. And so, like I said, I think speed, strength, explosiveness, all that, my route running, everything that you could think of has definitely improved.
What expectations have you set for yourself for the season?
No self-expectation. I'm just pretty much just worried about getting to that championship and getting a little bit of redemption.
A year ago at this time, the season potentially in jeopardy and that sort of thing. There's talk of spring season. Why was it important for you guys to start, in November and have that truncated fall season?
I would say to try not to get off the tracks, because if we did have a spring season, who knows what we would be doing right now,
Yeah, I think it's really important to get in the fall, especially once the rest of the country started playing. I think it would have hurt our conference and our schools if we kind of fell behind in that respect. So I think it was important that we got done the fall. And even though it was a short season, probably not what everyone wanted or expected. It was really important that we got a full off-season going forward.
When you reached out to, I don't know if it went beyond the Twitter and the Governor Newsom, what kind of went into your thought process with that?
That was a while ago. I'm trying to think. I think the main thing from our team was we saw every other conference in the country really take initiative to play, and it worked out in their favor. Then we were looking there, watching them play on Saturdays, and thinking, man, we should be a part of this too. So again, our thought process was we can play safely. We should be able to try to play. So we went to coach and our administration with, hey, what can we do to kind of make it happen? And they said, well, the main restriction is California policy, and restore schools in California. So that was our main thought process, was to get Governor Newsom's attention to try to spur that.
A lot of changes with your receiving core. Amron's gone, Tyler Vaughn is gone. Drake, how do you think on those expectations they set for?
Learning from guys like when I came in as a freshman, Michael Pittman and Amaron and TV and them, just them taking me under their wing and just picking their brains and kind of seeing how they handle all the pressures and how they lead that wide receiver corps. So I'm just implementing that right now and using what they gave me, and just using that and trying to keep that brotherhood that's in that wide receiver corps.
Drake, Kerry talked about moving you around a little bit more this year. You spent a lot of time in spring on the outside. How do you see that balancing out the way you get used in the offense this year in terms of location?
As of right now, that's kind of that's up in the air. Wherever they decide to put me, I'm going to go out there and try my best and be the best athlete that I can be. But as of right now, they moved me outside in spring, but who knows where I'm going to be at the start of the season.
What do the new wide receivers bring different to the offense?
I think the main thing is just depth, so it's just so many different skill sets I think that are coming together. I could go through the list, but I feel like we have 6, 7, 8 guys that are legitimate starters, and they each have unique skill set, and I think that allows us to kind of do a bunch of different things, allows us to move a guy like him around, and just flexibility. So I think that's the biggest thing that this room kind of gives us is flexibility to do what is best for the defense we play on a weekly basis, and where we see everyone fit best.
What's your strategy to start building camaraderie with those new receivers that you got?
Just going out and throwing every day. As a receiver and quarterback, time is everything. We try to throw every day that we can after practice or lift. So I think that's the main thing. Obviously, like to get everyone up. You'd like to get to know everyone as a person, and like come to naturally. But I think timing is probably the biggest thing.
How's that process coming along?
What do you think, Drake? I think it's going pretty well.
I think it's honestly fun. Like when we go out there after runs and we're out there, it's not just us who are out there throwing and trying to get our timing right. It's the whole RC court, the whole tight end court, all the QBs. You know, we're out there just having fun, getting our timing right. I mean, it's serious, but at the same time, we're out there having our fun. And, like you said, getting to know each other as family.
And it gives us an opportunity to kind of, Drake runs around a certain way. For him to kind of tell me, hey, I'm looking for this here. Or as a quarterback saying, hey, I'm thinking about throwing kind of to this shoulder because I see this, So that stuff you don't really get in practice. It allows me, the receivers, kind of get a point of view of like what we see on the field and how we think it can kind of get on the same page even at a deeper level.
Can you evaluate the two freshman quarterbacks relative to maybe where you were as an incoming freshman, and then just based on what you've seen from them this summer?
Yeah, I think it's hard to evaluate where I was because I haven't watched my tape or anything anytime recently. But they've been pretty impressive. They picked up the offense pretty well. I think they definitely threw more at them than I was given at that age or that time. I think they did a pretty decent job. They each bring kind of unique skill set to the table. I think Miller's pretty cerebral and sees the field really well. I think Jackson does a really good job of scrambling and making the on-platform throw and the big play. So again, they're both unique quarterbacks, and they do a great job of kind of working with me and picking my brain, asking questions. So I've had a good time so far.
Your fans got a glimpse of Blue McCoy, what he can do a little bit last year. Talk about his development and what he means to the offense and balancing things out.
Yeah, Brew can be a really big part of the offense. Brew's also an extraordinary athlete. You don't like, if you're a DB, you probably don't want to see him, running towards you, having to make a tackle. So he's also a brutalized route running, works on his hands every day. So again, just have to see where he falls in the offense and how it works, but I'm excited to see him go through.
Kedon, when you see a quarterback like Alabama's Bryce Young reaching almost $1 million in endorsement deals, just being a starting quarterback of Alabama, do you feel like that opened up doors for players like you, that's high caliber quarterback?
Potentially, but again, I'm not super focused on the numbers or, my main priority isn't making money right now. My main priority is playing quarterback at USC. Being the best quarterback I can be. Anything that kind of comes with that, I always kind of seems extra for me. I didn't think any of this would even happen until 2023, so that's kind of my perspective. But again, any guys that can make a lot of money, if Bryce is making that much, go for that. I'm excited for them.
They have a saying, they say no line, no shine. Can you expand on how or what the expectations of your O-line this year?
We expect them to go do their jobs on a daily basis.
And it was great seeing everybody in person.
Like I said, Coach McGuire and his, I think, skill set he brought to our team, his knowledge of the offense has really helped those guys develop. And I've seen lots of improvement from him since spring.
For both of you, what is your major, and what was the favorite class you took?
My major is communications. My favorite class that I've taken, it was like a physical education class where I did like a little bit of yoga. And so, I got a little break. What? No, I mean, I was in classes all the time. So like we got to go to the gym and relax on the yoga mat and stretch.
You got to sell the university. I'm in communications. My favorite class was Professor Ross, called Film Power in American History. It's a GE, but not even time.
Drake, you played alongside fellow wide receivers Amon St. Brown and Tyler Vaughn. Did you learn anything from those receivers?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I've learned, that dude's an exceptional worker. He works day in and day out. How he comes to practice and about practice, almost like the Kobe mentality. Like he is about his business 24/7. And then like a guy like Tyler Vaughns, I still hit him up to this day. I mean, I talked to all of them, but I hit up Tyler Vaughns today, like, hey, what should I do on this route? How should I move my body? Because the way he can control his body is like I've never seen it before in my life. And just picking his brains on certain things like that. And also Michael Pittman, just his leadership role and his dog mentality. So, I mean, I was blessed with the opportunity to come in and learn from those guys and be able to pick the bruise.
Thank you.
With some of the unique skill sets